welcome back to Shakedown Shan. Happy New Year. As cliche as it sounds, New Year, new us. I've got some exciting things for this year. I put out a post over our little vacation period, asking libertarians to get on board with being guests. Not even just libertarians. I would love to have like opposing views too, maybe get a cool little debate going. That's something that I want to look into as well. And I got amazing response from all of that. I actually got so much response that like I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 guests a month in. And I got so much response that I'm writing everyone down and I'm counting it. I can't even fit everybody that responded to it in a year. So
that's great.
That's if I did 2 a month. I can't even fit them in a year.
Wow.
So I'm sure sometimes it's just going to be 1 or whatever, not even any if schedules don't match up. But yeah, it was really great. I got like a mix of people. I got people who want to just talk politics from a libertarian point of view. And then I got people who have other podcasts that want to get on. And then I've got people who have run for office, people who are running for office, people who have wrote books, worked on what are they called? Campaigns.
Oh, campaigns.
Campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah, I got just a whole mix of people. I got this libertarian country singer songwriter that wants to collaborate with me and us and to get on the show. And so
is he gonna sing his part?
Oh, maybe that would be cool. But I thought it would be really neat, especially to get these other people that have a mix of things going on. People who just want to talk and debate what we're talking about or whatever, and then have these people that are working on other things to get word out about what they're doing. And so that would be pretty cool. It's always good to like help out other small upcoming things. Mm-hmm. I like that, supporting other people. And yeah, so the show with Tom really was a big hit, and that was good. I liked it. So that was exciting. That made me want to get more people on. So that's the exciting news and the goal for 2019. And on vacation, we did go to New York City for Noah's Christmas present. And it was not as crazy, but also crazier. It was a mix than I thought. So we got down there. We left at 4 a.m. We got down there around 9, and I actually got free parking all day.
Wow.
And it only took me 10 to 15 minutes to find it. And if you want to know where it is, it's Central Park West. Central Park West.
Central Park West.
You just come down, I think, 96th Ave or Street or whatever it is, which you can dump right onto from the Henry Hudson whatever highway.
Right.
And you go right onto that exit and straight out to Central Park West and just keep going around the blocks until somebody leaves, because somebody's going to leave.
Now, did you drive down yourself?
Yep.
Oh, that gives me more power, because I would never drive down there.
And I haven't been down there since like the 6th grade, so it's been a long time. But I've never done the subway before, but we figured it out. Mm-hmm. It was not that scary. And so we did the subway, got to the Statue of Liberty, which the government shut down that day, I think.
Okay. Or
the day before. And so I guess New York was using its funding to keep things like that open or something. But anyway, we got down there to the Statue of Liberty, and I got interviewed by a news person real quick. They just randomly like came up to me, were like, hey, can we ask you some questions about the government shutdown, blah, 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 which at the time, I didn't even know it was shut down because I was like on vacation. So sure. Like I was like disconnected from everything. And we get down there, or they're there interviewing us, and she goes, so how do you feel about the government shutdown? And I'm just like, well, to be honest, they don't really do anything when they're open anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
That's correct.
And I don't think she really liked it.
Well, too bad.
She kind of was like, okay, and moved on. And I'm like, you wanted my opinion.
You know, it's true. I mean, most people don't know what goes on. It's a cesspool down there. And, I mean, what the heck?
Yeah. I didn't. You can't even tell the government's really shut down.
No.
I'm sure you can in some places.
Well, the people that aren't getting paid, and like, I think Saratoga Battlefield is, but this time of the year, I mean,
it's winter anyway.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I feel bad for the people that work there, but they could probably eliminate half of their jobs there and still.
Right, like half of the stuff that's getting shut down is stuff we don't need anyway. And then the other part of it is that all the stuff that is affected by the government shutdown, if it's something that we do need or people think is important to have, eventually, if the government stays shut down, people are going to start figuring out ways to make that service happen.
Yeah, and it's only a partial shutdown. It's
right,
not
yeah, only certain
shutdown.
parts are shut down.
Yeah.
And so that was the interview, and she didn't like my answer on that, so I'm sure I didn't get any airtime. But we went to Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island. Did not have enough time for Ellis Island because it was a lot bigger than I thought.
Really?
And we made our way back up, had a good lunch, and we got to Rockefeller Center. And Rockefeller Center was packed. People on top of people. The FAO Schwartz toy store line was a 3-hour wait. So we went to Lego. But then we really didn't do much, but we kind of did a lot in the same aspect. It just took so long to do everything. And then after that, we saw a light show as we were walking back to the car, and we got home at like midnight.
Oh, wow. You did a one-day trip?
Yeah, we did a one-day trip because I'm a crazy person.
I guess so.
It was good, though.
Yeah, because I wondered. I know I read your updates online, and I kind of thought you were staying over because some of the times were so
I'm
late.
not staying down there. Nah. But how was your holidays?
They were nice.
Good.
You know, anytime you have family and your kids are around, it's a fun time.
Yeah, I like the holiday season.
Yeah.
Food.
The food
cookies.
And just the atmosphere, you know. I mean, it's, I think we said before, it's too bad we can't have that feeling
all year.
The whole time of the year.
Yeah.
But although, you know, it's kind of a time that's, people suffer a lot of depression too. And, you know, if you can help somebody out too, you know, that's good because, you know, like people that are alone. I belong to the Kiwanis Club, and we like deliver meals to older people that are alone, and that makes you feel better and it makes them happy. But how was yours?
Mine was good. I went so many places. I've got a lot of family.
Mm-hmm.
And so Christmas was good. Lots of fun. And Noah got a trampoline. My best friend is a crazy person too, and she got him a trampoline.
Wow.
But New Year's was something else.
What did you do?
I went to Joey's sister's house, and on the way there, we stopped at the store to get some drinks to bring. And I love pizza, and so I saw this stout that was had pizzas and money all over the can.
Okay.
And so I got it just because it had pizzas, and I didn't read anything else on the can. And so we get there. And I'm about like 3 drinks in already. And I'm like, oh, let's open the pizza one because it's probably cold now. And so I'm pouring it. And everyone's like, it kind of looks like oil. So we're looking at it. And this one guy takes the can and is reading it and goes, oh, it's like, she going to be okay? And I'm like, wait, what? Why? He goes, this is 17.3%.
You're kidding.
And at that point, you're like committed. Like everyone's watching you. They all made a big deal about it. They're like wondering if you can handle it. And so you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, right. With that.
And being Irish, you really got to prove yourself. So I did it in under an hour and I was still okay.
You're kidding. You drank the whole can.
In under an hour.
Wow.
And I'm never doing it again. I'm never getting anything without reading the can first.
Sure, that's a lot of alcohol.
I know. I literally only got it for the pizzas, and I thought, oh, it was probably a good beer to have with pizza.
How did it taste?
Good.
How was
it was
the
terrible.
Beer? Terrible.
It was terrible. It was so bad. It was like drinking a whole pint of liquor. It was so gross.
Ish.
But, yeah, that was my New Year's. And
but that was good. You had fun.
It's a good time. We had snacks and food and played some games.
That's how New Year's Eve is now, more or less. I mean, the days of our parents and grandparents where they used to go out, and it's kind of passé, I think. House parties and getting together with friends are the way to go, it seems.
Yeah, it's safer.
Safer and cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Safer and cheaper, yes.
Because it's expensive. I mean, if you go out and have a couple drinks, it's kind of expensive.
You got to find a ride home, and the drinks are expensive, and there's too many people.
Yeah, you really can't have a good time, you know. I mean,
you can't pick the music.
Right, that's right. So, no, it's good. I'm glad he had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And Noah had a good time. He got a nice watch, too. Trampoline. Do you wear your watch on the trampoline? No, he doesn't. Okay. But, well, that's fun.
Yeah, and then so this week it's back to reality, and I'm like, oh, back to work, back to more work, back to like my hobby work. Oh, so much stuff going on.
Did you have the whole week off last week?
No.
In between?
No. I had, but I didn't have like a full week.
Okay.
So it was like a nice little reprieve.
Yeah.
And I was off of tutoring, so because he was on vacation.
Right.
And now I'm back into that. And so, like, the first day back to that, and I'm like, because I tutor after work. So I'm like, oh,
yeah, your first day is tough. I'm not
prepared. But anyway, been trying to read up on everything I missed during the break. And so the shutdown, want to just, like, spill the tea a little bit about this. We started talking about it. It's partial shutdown, which I didn't get that when I first started hearing about that. That wasn't what I understood, just because of all the headlines and people freaking out that it was shut down. I was like, shut down, like everything? And then I realized it was partial. I'm like, it's not really shut down. And like Congress is still in there doing stuff.
Yeah.
And trying to do dumb things. Like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is proposing that we hike up taxes 70%.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that. I haven't read into it a lot yet, but
well, I was watching a TV show. She's on 60 Minutes for the hour, and they were not Republican or Democrat. They were kind of just, you know, they're supposed to be in the middle, and they ran a clip from what she was saying, and she made no sense when she talked about raising the taxes. And the one
doesn't make any sense ever.
Right, and the one said to the other, he goes, I can't believe they. When I see the whole hour of this thing, I don't know if I can stand it. The way she makes no sense at all.
No, she doesn't. It's like when she was asked what democratic socialism is, and she said it's people shouldn't be too poor to live. Yeah. Like, that's not even a definition. That's not even close to the definition. That doesn't even make sense. That's just how you feel. Yeah. But anyway, there's also been this video going around of, I guess, Republicans found an old video of her from college. It was a little music video her and her friends made. It's a really cute video. I watched it, and she's having fun with friends and everything. Mm-hmm. And so they shared this video to, like, discredit her. And I'm watching it. I'm like, this is the stupidest attempt to discredit her when you can try to discredit her on so many other things. And so they're really just making her look good right now by doing that, because that's just the most ridiculous thing to try to do.
No, where was that? Did you see that? Was it online?
The video's gone viral. It's on YouTube, and it was just some video she made while she was in college. And it was really cute. It was just to like a music thing, and everyone was dancing and stuff.
Because I wonder if they did that tongue-in-cheek because they went back when Kavanaugh was running to his college days.
Right, yeah.
And I'm wondering if they just did that tongue-in-cheek, or if... I don't think they'd be that crazy to try and discredit her with something as simple as that, you know? And
so it made no sense, because she's not doing anything wrong. She's not doing anything like... promiscuous either. Mm-hmm. She's just having fun with her friends, and it's a really, really cute video. They're like on a rooftop. There's like 5 or 6 of them, and they cut in and out of each person, and it was a really nice video, actually. Like, I don't like her, but
yeah,
the video was good.
Sure.
But I mean, why can't they be talking about her plans for Medicaid for all, or health insurance for all, or whatever it was, and free education for everybody? Like, those are things, and her answers to those and how she's going to pay for them. That's how you discredit her. Why are you not bringing up the real talking points? You're bringing up this like this nonsense. But yeah, she's been in the headlines a lot lately. So one thing I have to say about the government shutdown is that even though this whole thing is going around that, oh, the people aren't getting paid that aren't doing work and blah blah blah, most of them, I'm not going to say all, but most of them, since they are government workers, have a guaranteed salary, and they get back paid.
Oh yeah, they'll make all that up to them.
Right, and so they end up getting paid in the long run.
Sure.
It's not like they're totally out of money. I mean, for the time being right now, they're not getting a paycheck, but they will get back paid.
Sure.
It's not like it just disappears. So peeps are still getting paid. Tax returns have been a huge thing that I've been seeing, that because the IRS is shut down, which is just mind-blowing to me that we're still paying income tax from our paychecks. But they're saying that if the government stays shut down, tax returns are going to be pushed aside, delayed. Yeah. But yeah, we still have to pay them our income tax.
Oh, sure. Oh, you'll never get,
No, that's how it always worked. They always want their money as soon as possible, but as soon as they owe you money, and your refund, if you get a refund, isn't even half of what they took from you.
Right.
But it's just crazy that they will take forever to get you their money when, if you don't give them theirs in like 2 weeks.
Well, the simple thing to do would be to build the wall. I mean, the funny thing is they all agreed with this when Obama was president. The Democrats all agreed. And then when Trump became president, I mean, it's on record. You can go to YouTube and watch Chuck Schumer, give us 8 points about stopping immigration. And then when Trump became president, they just turned 180 and said, no, we're not going to give it to you. I mean, they're just doing it because they don't want him to look good on something.
But, I mean, I don't think building a wall is a good thing, because there's so many other ways to get here. It's not going to stop people from getting here if they're going to come here. And it's just so much money to add to the debt. We really need to cut down that debt.
They gave Mexico $5 billion.
Right, but we shouldn't do that either.
No.
And so the real way to stop immigration is to get rid of the welfare state. That is the easiest and most cost efficient, because not only are you not spending money on a wall, but you're also cutting costs in welfare spending. And so that's how you start cutting down on the debt. Stop adding to it.
Right.
And also cut out immigration, because they're not going to come here if we don't have that welfare state.
Well, the thing, see, I disagree with you. There's a lot of drugs that come over the border. I think the wall is good. I mean, plus they're going to use drones and hire some more border agents. And, listening to them on TV, they think the wall will help out. But I agree with you in cutting out the welfare, because there's 20 million illegal aliens in the country. And they've figured it. Now, this is a government agency. This isn't like President Trump saying it or that. $70,000 for each person that's illegally here. Now, you multiply that by 20 million. It's a lot of money.
Right. So not only about cutting the welfare state out, but if you also stop the war on drugs, you cut the welfare state, what reason does anybody have to come here unless they actually want to be here? And the wall is not going to stop anybody. We still have all this open border elsewhere. We get on a boat. They're going to start building boats. They're going to find ways. They're going to get planes. They're going to make planes. They're going to figure it out. And those are going to be the worst of worst people to come over. Those are going to be the people getting really, 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 really bad drugs over here because of the money in drugs, because of the war on drugs. They're going to find a way to get it over here. I don't think the wall's going to stop anything at all.
Well, it's a long wall. And it's a lot of territory that's unmanned. I think
it's just a waste of money.
But you know what? You compare it to the wall in Israel, and it's done really well. They have cut down immigration quite a lot, and that's what he saw. And I mean, all the border agents and ICE, they're all saying that it will help.
Well, yeah, but it would help more if we cut welfare and the war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would do the same thing. Why do we need to spend money when we can cut money?
Well, we can, but you're never going to get these people out of the country, and you got to start working on it slow. I mean, we can't,
right, but the wall would take long to build too.
Yeah.
So that would be slow as well.
Yeah, but they're going to have the army do that.
Either way, it's going to be slow, but you're going to spend money building a wall, but you're going to cut spending by cutting welfare and the war on drugs. And also increase revenue if you end the war on drugs, then you can have legal drugs and people can make money on it legally. And then that's obviously going to be taxed because they tax everything. Mm-hmm. And so you're also going to bring in money. And so I just don't see where spending so much money on a wall is going to help anything where we can cut spending and still do the same thing.
Well, okay.
That's where I stand.
I mean, I kind of agree with you on the cutting the system, but I disagree with you on the wall. So we met halfway, and that's what you want to do.
Yes, I don't, and I just think a shutdown over the wall is the stupidest thing.
Well, he ran on that,
right?
And I mean, I think it's really stupid that they're letting it go and they're not negotiating, because I think he'd settle for less, but they won't even negotiate. They just told him there's not going to be a wall built, and that's kind of crazy, because if he can get half of that, I don't know, it's going to be
well, I just think it's crazy that I don't agree with the wall, but I think it's crazy that they won't spend the money on the wall, but they'll go ahead and spend the same amount of money in welfare.
Yeah.
And all this other nonsense. It's just, it's
well, no, I know.
mind-blowing.
And they won't even sit down to agree to reform the immigration policy. That's what bothers me.
No.
They won't do anything.
No, that's why I said the government shutdown doesn't matter, really,
right.
Because they don't do anything when they're open.
Right.
And yes, the government shutdown is not ideal. I know a lot of libertarians are like, "Ooh, government shutdown." And yeah, it is a great thing, but it's also not a great thing. There's pros and cons, obviously. I'm all for a government shutdown, but also, like, we do need to figure some stuff out.
Oh, sure.
So, but I do feel like if it's shut down long enough, it might be good for libertarians, because people are going to start figuring out how to get things done themselves, mm-hmm. rather than relying on the government. And I think the shutdown is just detrimental to the government itself, which to me is the pro side of it.
Right. Now, see, if I was a libertarian and high up, I would start offering suggestions now and come out in the forefront now, while the other two parties can't come to any kind of agreement.
No, yeah, definitely. another thing that happened over my vacation was Trump announced withdrawing from Syria, which he ran on bringing troops home, and then when he got in office, he ended up doing more stuff with troops and stuff, so he kind of went back on his word there. But now he's finally saying, let's pull out of Syria, and I'll believe it when I see it, because how many times have we heard that?
Yeah.
But so he did say that. However, there's also no set timeline for this. So I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. It would be a great thing for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I am not going to put all my chickens in one basket.
Well, no, I know. Well, he said he was going to bring them home right away, but then you started getting in the political realm, and they were telling him,
you get convinced that Assad's doing all these terrible things, and he may have been doing some of them, but we actually have no proof that he was gassing his own people for that one strike. And then he's doing these, and then he's like, wait a minute, why are we here?
Right.
And so...
Well, he said the same thing about Afghanistan and all the military generals and that. And, the Democrats were saying, how can he do that? I mean, we went... And like Trump said, though, we've been fighting that war for 17 years.
Right. And it's just crazy that as soon as he says he wants to withdraw, all the outrage, he gets over it.
Of the people that said they wanted to withdraw.
Right. But just because it's coming from his mouth,
right?
They're outraged, and that just blows my mind and just shows how twisted this whole thing is, because I thought everyone wanted to get the troops home. But no, we have to stay there and kill more innocent people. That's what we have to do.
Well, I was listening to a guy on the radio yesterday, and he lived in Washington for his job, and he says you can't believe what Washington D.C. the political part of it, he said, is so crooked that people would not believe it. You would tell them, and he said, there's no way you can fathom how bad it is there.
No.
And we
destroyed those countries.
Right. And I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they said, Trump goes in, and maybe it was on this morning show. He goes in, and he's a businessman, and he knows how to get things done, but they fight him tooth and nail because he's not a politician. And now I heard today where the head of North Korea wants another meeting with President Trump.
It's like we're trying to make relations good with other countries, like with Russia and North Korea, and we're trying to pull troops out and just all these things that should happen, because, I mean, why wouldn't you want good relations with other countries?
Yeah.
But yet there's apparently a problem with bringing troops home and having good relations with Russia and North Korea. And we always have to be at war with somebody.
Yeah. I think that's the cesspool.
It is. So I can answer my own question there. The why is there's money in war. There's money in having enemies. And it's crazy. It's mind-blowing that they just play with people's lives just for the profit of it. And then it's crazy to me that people don't see that like American people don't see that. And I know we're starting to, because like we've been at war for so long that just some people have their whole lives have been war. Noah's whole life we've been in war, and even kids older than that. And it's insane. Pretty soon it's going to be adults have their whole lives have just been in wartime, and that's going to be the norm, and that's not good. That's not okay to have.
Well, when I was born, I don't want to give my age away, but when I was born, the Korean War was just ending, and the Vietnam War was starting.
Another dumb war.
Right, and then after Vietnam, Afghan started, and we're still in that today. So here I am, a senior, and there's been wars
Forever.
ever since I've been around. And that's, here you go. It's like you said, we have to be in a war.
It's like we've normalized wartime, and that's very scary. And it's just not okay. It's not okay.
No.
So that's the other thing that I had heard. What else did I hear? I also heard over vacation that Cuomo wants to legalize recreational
drugs,
marijuana, and he's never been for this.
Right.
So it's just crazy. Like, if you look at, I mean, he's been in office so long that not rightfully, but he's been in office so long that it's so easy to just go back and look at how many times he's just totally flipped the script to try to get reelected the next time. So obviously he's trying to target millennials to get them on board with him.
Sure.
And just, he's running out of things to do.
Right.
To like cover up all the bad things he's done, because people are going to remember the good things that he's done,
and not the bad,
and not the bad things.
Well, if you listen to his speech, which so many people, and even on TV, on the left side of commentators, said they can't stand to listen to the man speak. His speech is like, he's crazy.
I'm just sick of him.
But the thing is he made a comment, and I can't believe he made this comment. I mean, I know now the House, the Senate, and the legislature are both Democrat this year. All right. So he goes, thank God that both houses are Democrat. Now I can get things done.
That's scary.
It is scary, because our state budget is controlled by 3 people. That's all who meet on the budget, and it's the governor, the head of the legislature, and the head of the Senate. So those are the only 3 that are in a room deciding things. Now they're all Democrat, so you don't get any pushback.
No.
It's scary, especially with him at the helm, because he's I'm afraid
ruthless.
of him. Yeah.
Yeah, we all should be afraid of him.
Yeah.
How many elections has he won? And he's terrible.
Yeah, and everybody around him is going to prison. All his friends, the top people. So many scandals.
He's committed crimes. It's just insane that he's still there. I don't know how we didn't finally kick him out. But for some reason, and I can't understand why, but New York City just loves him.
And they
absolutely love him.
Yeah.
And I just think we should just go have a libertarian parade through the city.
That's right. Well, look at what he does. I mean, the governor's, he never is in Albany. He's always in New York. I mean, his office is down there.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the rest of New York.
And the state capital's in Albany. And, he wants to reform voting rights, and they're making a push to eliminate the college of...
the Electoral College?
Electoral College.
Yes,
but
I saw that.
See, now, what I believe is that every county in the state should have one Electoral College vote just for the governor's race, because every other race is within your own county or whatever. Whoever wins the county, whether it be Democrat or Republican, that gets the electoral vote. And then at the end of the election...
Right, because our population is just so askew.
Yeah.
Or Long Island in that area should just become its own state, and they can just tear each other apart and burn down to the
Westchester,
ground.
Yeah.
Like, they can just destroy their little state, and we can just be awesome over here.
And we make enough money up here where we could support being a separate state.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it's crazy. Matter of fact, I don't know what your feeling on fracking is. No, I believe fracking is okay. And they said that if he would allow fracking in upstate New York, that New York State would have more money then we wouldn't have to worry about anything. Taxes could be lowered, but it won't do it. And Pennsylvania is doing it, and they're becoming, I mean, unbelievably wealthy now. And
yeah, I don't know. I think I think fracking should be given a chance.
yeah.
And I mean, that's how we advance, is we try new things. And if you don't give something a chance, yeah, it might go terrible.
But then
it might not, though.
But there's other states that do it, and everything's okay.
And so, I mean, give it a shot. Don't shoot it down immediately. But yeah, so speaking of Cuomo, I did look into, I was curious because it's 2019 now. So people are going to start getting ready for the 2020 election. And so we're going to have a lot of campaigning going on and everything. And so I was curious to see what like projected 2020 candidates are. And I know that there's a bunch of people that already said, yeah, they're definitely going to run. And then there's a whole bunch of people that aren't confirmed but have showed interest in. And so I have a list. So let's see. We'll go through this list a little bit.
Okay.
What do we got on?
Okay, don't wait. I'll let.
So for senators, they're looking at Cory Booker is projected to maybe run. Sherrod Brown, Kristen Gillibrand, Tim Kaine, Amy Klobuchar, if that's how you say it, Jeff Merkley, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders. I think he'll run again. I just think he will.
I think so.
And if he wins, we're
something came out this week about Bernie Sanders.
Did it?
Yeah, one of his campaign workers, well, the Me Too movement's now in his campaign. One of his campaign managers or somebody high up in his campaign was abusing women, whether not, I don't know if it was sexually or not, and he did nothing about it. And now he's saying that he didn't know about it. So he's kind of like in a little bit of hot water with women right now. So he may not have the support that he had
before.
Yeah. Now I heard that just on today, I was watching TV, Pocahontas was in South Dakota or something like that, and she's testing.
Oh, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
I'm like, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
And she's testing the water, and she was saying something which I think is kind of crazy. She said back in like the 60s and 70s, if her mother worked for minimum wage and she could support a family of 3, and today a woman could work for minimum wage and couldn't live on with her and 1 child, which I don't know how you could live back then on minimum wage. I made minimum wage when I got out of college, and for my first job, and I was struggling back then.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle on minimum wage, but I mean, you can survive off of it if you know how to use money right, and it's going to be struggle and it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
But I mean, I work 3 jobs and I seem to make it okay. It's all about how you carry yourself and how you let the situation make or break you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you have to be stuck on that, it's what it is until
and you're
it gets
young
better.
Too, with a small child, and you can work a couple jobs. And as you get older, that becomes more difficult.
Right.
But by then, you should be making a decent salary, and but to get there, you have to know how to manage money. I mean, you can't put yourself in a position where you go the other way when you work on minimum wage. If you don't know how to budget or whatever, you end up on the street. So there, I don't think she'll have a chance, because most of these people don't know what they're talking about either.
Mm-mm.
They talk about rich white men and Republicans as not knowing what the real world is, but these are rich white men and women on the Democratic side that don't know what the real world is. I mean, Nancy Pelosi lives in a walled community.
Right.
All right. The Pocahontas is kind of wealthy. And now this Camellia, whatever.
Harris.
Yeah, Harris has been Catholic bashing. So she's going to have a tough time, I think, when it boils down to her runnings. They don't know how to keep their mouth shut either. And
no.
That's why I think now is a good time for a libertarian to come to prominence and make some items priorities and get national attention. I think now's the perfect time because both parties are acting like the other one accuses each other of.
Right. It's just there's so much upset with the two parties. It's definitely a good time for a third party. Unfortunately, I think that third party may be a socialist, just the way things are looking. And I mean, I want to be hopeful, but I don't know if it's going to be libertarian. I feel like we're going to go socialist and after that, libertarian.
Yeah, I don't.
It's going to get bad before it gets better.
Well, see, I think the other
Hopefully
way around.
not.
I think there's people that don't like socialists, but maybe on the fence. A lot of younger people, but if you get another third party that starts talking like you believe in, and I think that'll resonate with a lot of younger people too.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll finish up the possible 2020 candidates next time. It's a really big list.
It is, and I think we can do. I can even get some research done for you on the possibility that I'll have to become Indian and live on Indian tribes.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the newest episode of 2019. We finally got a tripod for the cell phone.
I'm impressed.
That keeps my live video keeps shutting off, so I don't think any of my videos are back up there from today.
We'll have the
they just kept shutting off. Yeah, but we'll have it up. It'll be on SaratogaBroadcasting.com, the Shakedown Shan page. It'll be on iTunes, Spotify. I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it up on Instagram. I'm going to try to do better with Instagram this year. I'm really bad at keeping up on Instagram. And it's going to be on my website too. It's going to be everywhere. And whatever you prefer listening on, it's going to be there somewhere for you. I just want to make it like as accessible to people and what their preferences are as possible. And that seems to be doing well. And like I said, I'm trying to get guests on the show for 2019. I've got a huge list, and I've got to go through them and start figuring out when and get schedules lined up. And it's going to be a really, really exciting year.
I'm impressed. I really am.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great year. So
it is.
That's all I've got for today. And